Hey guys, it's Luke here from Patient Rush today, and today I have with me Will Waninger from Dentistry at Habitsham. Thank you so much for coming on, Will. Sorry if I botched that name there, mate. How you doing?
No, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome, appreciate it, mate. Well, to kick us off, could you please give everyone a bit of background on your story and how you got into the dental industry?
Yeah, so I kind of knew I wanted to be a dentist ever since I was in ninth grade. I was really enjoyed my dental experiences growing up. I had braces, probably like most people. So that kind of became my passion and something that I really wanted to do and kind of always knew I was going to do. So that just kind of led my path through college and everything like that. So I ended up, going to college, went to dental school, all in South Carolina, and then ended up joining the military afterwards as a dentist for the Navy, and did a residency in about 4 or 5 years with the military. And then I just recently separated from the military and bought a private practice here in South Carolina.
Wow, awesome. What a cool story. Congratulations on the practice.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Mate, awesome. Well, this next question that I've got pegged for you will be a good one because of your history, which is a very unique history, having been in the Navy and worked there as a dentist. What's a principle or a strategy that's worked successfully for you in your career as a dentist? Something that maybe it's a fundamental way of doing things that you sort of apply day to day.
Yeah, so my big thing has always been, I guess, somewhat leadership based, and the military's kind of really
Yeah.
taught that to me. Um, as I kind of moved up in the military, it allowed me to afford more leadership opportunities to be in charge of not only other staff members, such as dental assistants and things like that, but also other dentists. And so I would teach them, digital technology, or I would run my own dental clinic where I'd have 3, 4, 5 dental providers, 3 dental hygienists, and 10, 11 staff members. So that kind of leadership mindset was really kind of always ingrained into me from the military basis. And I think that's been really helpful transitioning into private practice as well.
Yeah, fantastic. Wow. So just to give the layman a bit of an idea, what what would be, obviously we see, the different sort of things that, from the outside, what happens in the army and the navy, but what would you say is like the main way that they instill leadership into you?
So a lot of it is just based on the culture of the military.
Yeah.
And so as you move forward, you kind of start out in a very basic level. They kind of
Mm.
just introduce you to the military, either through some sort of residency program or an initial year. And then from that point, you kind of have to take on more and more responsibilities wherever you're stationed. And that's just kind of to help yourself promote and move forward in the military. I'm sure there's plenty of opportunities for people to maybe, slack off and not take those opportunities or take advantage of those opportunities to the fullest. But if you want to be successful in the military, it definitely behooves you to take advantage of every opportunity that's presented. And that may range from everything from improving clinical skills, all the way to taking on responsibilities such as, infection control, which I was in charge of, or digital dentistry departments, teaching, training, different staff members on things like that. So I would say that's kind of the biggest thing that, that kind of helps that leadership aspect.
Yeah, nice. Interesting. Great. Awesome. And then now, obviously, out in the civilian world, and you've just, bought a new dental clinic. How important is marketing for your business, and what kind of marketing are you doing?
Yeah, so that's been really interesting because coming into private practice, from the military, obviously I have no experience with marketing. The military is a set patient base. But coming in, I kind of tried to find a practice that would fit my personal goals and ambitions in terms of what I wanted a practice to be like. So the practice that I purchased is a fee-for-service practice. So we're not in network with any insurance companies, even though we file insurance for our patients.
Yeah.
So marketing has been something that's been thought about, and I feel like is going to be important for me. But one of the benefits I feel like in this practice is because of its location, we're kind of the only dentist within maybe a 5 to 10 mile radius. And so that kind of affords us a little bit of ease, I guess you would say, in terms of the patients that live in this specific community, which is the Habersham community.
Yeah.
They tend to come to us because of our location. So that's been really beneficial, and that's kind of helped the practice stay growing, even during a COVID-based market.
Yes. Yes. Nice. Great. And what's a challenge that you're currently going through, Will? You know, obviously we all have them. Something that if you could, you know, wave a magic wand and fix inside your practice, what would that be right now?
Oh man, I don't think we have enough time on the podcast for all the things I want to fix. But main thing is kind of patient flow. Obviously, in a fee-for-service practice, there's going to be ups and downs of, you know, oh, who's this new doctor? He's a lot younger than the older doctor. You know, is he going to accept my insurance now? So I have gotten some of that feedback from patients in terms of, oh, they don't want to be in the, you know, or they're looking for a new opportunity now that there's a new doctor in the practice. So patient flow has kind of been an issue, you know, ups and downs. The other issue is kind of, hey, Bruce, thank you. The other issue is kind of just transitioning into a practice standpoint with different practice management software, a smaller practice, employees, things that I'm having to try and figure out how the old way of running the practice was. And that may not be necessarily how I want to run it, but I don't want to make immediate changes. So that kind of slow growth, trying not to implement things too fast, that's been a challenge because I want to, you know, hit the ground running. But obviously cash flow is important and difficult in the beginning of purchasing a practice. And so I'm trying to tamper expectations when it comes to the growth of the practice.
Yes. Nice. Interesting. And is that something that you sort of learned in the Navy, like sort of how to approach these sort of challenges, or you had mentors where you could tap into knowledge?
So probably not so much from the Navy. My biggest thing has really been probably the dental podcast industry. All the way back in maybe, you know, 6-7 years ago when dental podcasts were first becoming a thing, I started dipping my toe into dental podcasts. And then I really started getting more business specific information within the past year or two, really trying to focus on, okay, what are strategies for being a good business owner? I felt like I had a really good clinical background to do the dentistry. But I always knew that being in the military, there were no business necessities that you needed to know because the patients would always show up and you would just do whatever work you needed to have done. Sure. So I really started to do my own research from a business standpoint, probably within the past year or two. And dental podcasts have been a big part of that.
Yeah, nice. It's kind of like a second wave for you, isn't it? Like having such amazing experience and doing the work and treating people and delivering great service. And this is just a new challenge for you. It's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Mate, and Will, just to wrap us up here, over and above, you know, what you've shared with us today, is there any other parting advice that you would share with someone that's maybe just getting started or they're looking to get to that next level? What would you share with them?
I feel like there's two kind of mindsets that people will give you, and some will be, you know, go all in, you know, don't be hesitant. You'll regret it if you don't, you know, move too fast or wait too long. And in terms of actually purchasing the practice, I definitely could have been more hesitant. And, you know, maybe I overpaid for this practice because I was really trying to find, you know, something in a short time frame. But I don't regret being a business owner, you know, any day of the week. So that part was very important, that I felt like that was good to be aggressive. And on the same time, there's also the opposite side of that where you kind of have to know what your limits are, whether it's business, whether it's clinical, you know, whatever those things are, at least know what your limitations are and be able to reach those and know how to excel without pushing yourself past the limit, to be able to stretch yourself too thin, you know, whether it's from a work life or a work life balance, personal balance, that type of thing.
Nice. Great advice. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Will. And if anyone wants to find you, where's the best place for them to find you online or something like that?
Yeah, so I've kind of boosted our social media presence for the practice. So we can be found at Dentistry at Habersham. We're on Instagram, Facebook. We also have a website, www.dentistryathabersham.com.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll really appreciate your time, mate, and all the best.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.